Breaking news tonight.
Amberlyn did not shower.
Does Amberlyn Reed have a new diagnosis? Foodie Beauty likely a fugitive on the run again. And Wes Watson falling deeper and deeper into denial and spiritual psychosis. All this and more. This is Gorl World Watch with Mancy Grace. I'm your host, Mancy. Let's get into the drama. As a reminder, this video is just for entertainment purposes only. Nothing is meant to be taken seriously whatsoever. I'm just sharing my own opinions, not facts, on publicly accessible information, first made public by public figures. Do not go to these people's channels and leave mean-spirited, negative, discouraging, disparaging comments for entertainment purposes only. And Leela. Drama. The most popular girl in school, Amberlyn Reed, can I call you Pookie?
September, or the beginning of October, me and her got in a really bad argument in Walmart. I called her the ex from before. I called her the pet name that I had for them. It was Pookie. I don't know what it was, but it set her off. And she was in, what is that, the scooters at Walmart. She was in one of those. And she just kind of took off. And I kept calling her. I couldn't find her. She got like away from me. And she wouldn't answer me. I couldn't find her. You know, she would not answer me. And I was like, not about it. I was like, okay, not about it. I was like, okay, whatever. And I left.
Is back to her 3-day-a-week upload schedule, where on Monday, June 30th, she posted a new vlog titled Unhinged, quote, DoorDasher Guy, end quote, Update, a bad Zoloft side effect, and fun family bonding vlog. In the video, Amber, can I call you Pookie, tries to convince us once again about her DoorDasher story. Now, handing it over to one of my correspondents, Mrs. Snowflake, for a breakdown of the DoorDasher story. Thanks, Mancy. If you're unfamiliar with the lore, basically, Moplegs is suggesting that her DoorDasher has been hitting on her, with many speculating if you can even talk to the Dasher after the food is delivered. No one believes you, Pookie. Thank you, Mrs. Snowflake. We can always count on you. Anyway, in Amber's new video, Can I Call You Pookie, she goes on to show us some of her new Lego builds. She also explains that Zoloft has been making her hot temperature, casually mentions that she's getting Sonic slushes pretty frequently. And not only that, she's getting them with Nerds candy in them. And her excuse is because it's, quote, hot outside and she needs to cool off. She did end up spending time with her mom later in the vlog, as well as her grandmother, which was kind of cute. But during their time, Amber's mom does tell us a story of how bad Amberlyn's, can I call you Pookie, teeth were at 4 years old. I think I'll let Mama Lynn tell the story herself.
I used to wonder why her bottle, I'd find these little balls of hair. Little balls of hair. Yeah. I'll be darned, Mom. If she didn't have, I didn't know this, but this is my truth. So behind her teeth, they were so rotten. It's called baby bottle syndrome. They were so rotten, you couldn't tell that she was making her own cap by pulling the fur off the bear and putting it in the holes. So when she sucked her bottle, it didn't hurt.
That's smart.
Ain't that
Damn, I was smart even at 4.
So as soon as I noticed, of course I take her to dentist and everything. They're like,
And of course, Pookie can't miss an opportunity to self-glaze with the I was smart even back then comment.
so when she sucked her bottle, it didn't hurt.
That's smart.
Ain't that weird?
Damn, I was smart even at 4.
So as soon as I know,
That's smart.
ain't that weird?
Damn, I was smart even at 4.
As soon as I noticed.
Amberlyn also shows us some new dresses from Torrid, and they were definitely a choice. Towards the end of the video, Amber did slip in, pretty low-key, that she has diagnosed OCD.
Don't have OCD. You have obesity.
Bruh.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know my psychiatrist was on here.
Now, our investigators didn't think much of this comment because Pookie loves to collect diagnosis like I like to collect Pokemon cards. But during our research, we came across Rachel, who had something very interesting to say about Amber and her OCD.
I wanted to ask about your OCD that you are diagnosed with.
Before we even, this is unacceptable that she included this voice note. She is on record admitting to lying about having OCD. If you watch my BPD lies video, I'll put it here, I'll link it downstairs. She has lied about having OCD in the past. She said that she had OCD, then she admitted later that she was never tested for OCD and that it was a lie, and that she had OCPD. As far as I know, she has never been diagnosed with OCD. The fact that she is including this, like, there is so many things that are fucking bullshit about this. She doesn't have OCD. She's never been diagnosed. She hasn't even been diagnosed with the things that she admits to having, like BPD, for example. Amber, where's the proof? Oh, girl, you don't have BPD. We all know you don't. You don't have OCD. You should have heard this voice note, thought, fuck, listen, I know in my own heart I don't have OCD. Let me not include this. Let me not perpetuate this narrative that I have OCD because I know it's not true. I'm just going to leave this out. No, she doesn't. She includes it because she has no fucking morals. This has really pissed me off.
Thank you for the insight, Rachel. We love her. In typical Ambi fashion, she decides to cancel her Tuesday live stream only 2 hours before she usually goes live. And later, she tells us via community post that she needs an additional day to get her vlog out. So her Wednesday vlog will be on Thursday. Now, she does plan to go live on Sunday night and post a video the next day on Monday, sparking more conversation around Amber, quote, filming all her videos in 1 to 2 days, usually after her live streams. She does plan to go live on Sunday night and post a video the next day on Monday, so she does make up the live this week, but she also has about 4 more hours to make up to her members. And after canceling the live, Karina Kaboom, a paying member, comes out with a video with some very helpful points.
Wow, now. She films her weekly vlog in 1 to 2 days. Clearly here she's filming it in 1 day. She's going to film her weekly vlog on Sunday. She's going to lie, deceive you, and say that she filmed it, she always puts in these little disclaimers. Oh, this was a different day. Oh, a different day. Oh, a different day. I don't care if she says that it's filmed over 2 days. There's just no way. She is filming that Monday video that she's posting on Monday, the Monday vlog, on Sunday, which is why she's going live on Sunday, so that she can combine her live stream and her weekly vlog, that she can film it all together on Sunday. You understand? Even if she films it all day, even if she makes an exception and films that vlog that goes up on Monday all day, my point is, the schedule is always the same for her lies and deceiving. Making videos where you're pretending that you're filming throughout the week in 2 hours is not that deep, Pookie. So, yeah,
Riveting. Thank you, Karina and Evil Kermit. On Thursday, July 3rd, Amber, can I call you Pookie, uploads a 23-minute Les Talk video titled In a Situationship and the Real Reason People Are Obsessed with Me. Let's Talk, episode 12.
Like what?
Like what?
Like what?
She opens the video with someone asking for more proof that the DoorDasher story is real. I'll just let Amber explain.
Show proof that DoorDasher story is real, you hog. I'm trying to think of how I can show proof without doxing his name, because obviously I don't want to do that. Actually, I do have a way. I have a screenshot of the notifications coming in that I actually took on my phone, and you can see my wallpaper. My wallpaper is Twinkie, which I'll show you here. And you can see behind notifications is Twinkie. So that's genuinely the only proof that I can show. And obviously in the screenshot, I am crossing out his name because I don't want to dox. Why don't you see it?
Nail, hammer, coffin. This case is closed, is what I would say if I only had 2 brain cells in my head. Obviously, this, quote, proof isn't very good proof. I don't think anyone needs further explanation on that. Now, she does answer some questions at the end, And a lot of her fans are very long-winded. So we're gonna cut you some slack and just give you the best parts.
Thank you for accepting my request.
Of course.
I wanted to ask, why do you think your weight loss has been so unsuccessful? I know people have different measures of success, but if you view it from an objective standpoint, you've been on your weight loss journey for over 10 years, and all you've really done is
I'm gonna pause it real quick. I've been on my weight loss journey publicly for over 10 years, but my first diet was when I was 10, and I'm currently 34. So I've been trying to lose weight for over 2 decades, for 24 years. So it's just publicly I have shown it for the last 10.
go from being in the 300s to the 500s. And
My first diet ever, I was 10 years old. I was in the 200s somewhere, and here I am, all the way up in the 500s, and my highest known weight was 572.4. So yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I think it's hard for others and myself to rationalize this because
It is hard for people to rationalize, and I love the show 600 Pound Life because it shows that people who reach this size, because I get it, there's like levels to these things, like overweight, then it's just like, okay, you're morbidly obese, then it's like, okay, you're super morbidly obese, and then it's just like, there are a few classes to it, and I've reached the point where it's like, I am at the highest, and I'm fully aware that, like, my BMI used to be in the hundreds, my BMI now is 94, and that's still really bad, but for one's BMI to get that high, and for one's weight to get that high, you have to go through a lot of trauma in your life. Trigger warning, whether that be emotionally, physically, sexually, you have to go through a lot. And I have gone through every single one of those things. Like, I was in foster care. Like, you're not in foster care just because. Even in foster care, I went through a lot. So it's me not healing all those things at the time, and then even as an adult, like, finding it so hard to, like, speak about the hard things and wanting to heal and figuring out why I am the way I am. It's just like this constant vicious cycle.
you've had multiple health scares / struggles throughout that time, which would motivate a lot of us to take the weight loss really seriously. You know, from being unable to do normal activities like traveling and walking to literally having cancer, like one of the worst things imaginable, really.
Yeah.
So surely with all of these things, you would be eager to improve and lose the weight so you can enjoy your life. And
That's how I know it is a mental thing and it's not like a choice at all. And I know a lot of people, they look at bigger people and they think that we're choosing this life. I'm telling you, 95% of us are not choosing this. It is so mentally exhausting to be an addict of food and to have turned to food since you were just a little child. I have a whole family of addicts, and I'm not the only food addict. Like, my grandma, she has passed away. She was over 600 pounds. And it definitely is not only environmental, but it's mental. And it's also genetics and hereditary and all of that stuff. So it's a mixture of like so many things.
be healthy, but every diet is unsuccessful and you end up making excuses for yourself.
I don't always make excuses. I have, yes, but I have a lot of reasons for the way that I am. And I recently, like, even publicly, I was like, can you guys help me like figure out like what is the difference between excuses and reasons? Thankfully, I now have a clear picture of that. But yeah, I have made some excuses in the past, and I'm not perfect, so I probably still do to this day. But I do have a lot of reasons for the way that I am, and I am trying to work on that.
Sorry if this is mean or if it's really long.
It's not mean at all.
I just didn't want to like sugarcoat it. But yeah, thank you for listening. Have a good day.
Oh, of course. I hope you have a good day too. And that was not mean. Like, that
Hello,
was
Amber. This is Eve from Jordan in the Middle East, and yes, you have fans in the Middle East. My question is there an ex of yours that, if asked you to patch things up and be back together, that you would say yes to? You don't have to give us the name of that ex. Just answer with yes or no, and give us all of the suspense in the world. You're not a failure. Your haters might say it to you or express it over and over again. You're not. You have a YouTube channel that has over 250,000 subscribers, and that is not easy, because I've tried to do it myself. I have run a YouTube channel for 7 years, and guess what? I've only won 13 subscribers, so I gave up. So this achievement is great. It's huge. You might be thinking, okay, what about my weight? You're still trying. Even if you've tried a bazillion times and failed, as long as you feel like you're trying, then you haven't failed. Again, too much love to you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Like, that was honestly really sweet, and I needed to hear it. As for the X thing, I'm not gonna say yes or no.
Okay, hi Amberlyn. I need your opinion on situationships. Like, how do we feel about them?
I have been in a few myself. For me, situationships are hard because my feelings grow. I am even loyal in a situationship. Like, I will not talk to anyone else. Like, you're it, and that is that. That could be a BPD thing. I don't know, but I'm a very loyal, committed person, and I'm also very jealous, and I worry, and I'm like, well, I'm committed, but what if they're not? Because in situationships, you're usually not in a loyal situationship. Some are, but it just depends. For me, I think that they should happen because it's like just jumping into a relationship, like a true relationship, probably isn't the greatest idea for some people. It's like good to get to know someone, like start off as friends, and then, get into something more romantic, and that's where like a situationship comes in. But if it's just a situationship and that's it, and there's no like end goal of like, okay, are we gonna get into a relationship or what? Then it's almost like pointless. But what works for you might not work for me, and everyone's different. I just know that I go into dating with a goal. My goal is to find my person, because that is what I love about love, is like having your best friend and having your other half and having your person and someone that can rely on you and you can rely on them. And yeah, it's just like a best friend that you find extremely sexy. Are you guys?
I don't know if that's how that works, Pookie. That about wraps it up for our girl this week.
Thanks for nothing.
Now, on to the party queen herself, Foodie Beauty. She just might have won Gorl World this week with how she's been moving. Foodie starts the week off strong with a live stream last on June 29th, and the title was All Moved Out. She starts off by absolutely devouring a Wendy's spicy chicken Sammy. She clarifies that it has extra mayo.
Thanks for nothing.
And she followed it up with a chili cheese nacho. Didn't even know Wendy's had nachos, okay? The nachos seemingly gave her maybe a second of clarity, if you will. And she explains that she feels guilty about the whole Smokey situation.
I was going through some emotions. I felt, number one, very guilty that I, had Smokey and all that thing, all of that. But I'm relieved he's doing better. He's okay. He's with like a forever home now.
After getting a few trauma donations, Foodie spills on her hijab, and so she quickly turns the camera off while she looks for another. She then excuses herself to the bathroom, so she leaves camera for about 5 to 7 minutes, and she comes back with a new hijab and starts putting lipstick on. Following up her lipstick, she takes a pill. No one knows what this pill is. And she becomes, quote, hyper after.
I don't know. Never know when you're going to need a screwdriver. Where's my pills? Teeny Turner. Very excited for a new place. Richard, I got a car. Yeah. For now. Where's my makeup? Sweet guys. Tiny Turner is simply the best. Am I living outside the car now? No. I gave my date to move out, and until then I've been like at nights staying at the apartment and packing, organizing, that kind of thing. Hey Melissa. And then no, it's walk upstairs. So next time I get a place, because listen, even if you're in shape, like the stairs when you're trying to move things, this is actually exciting. You made it through a rough time. You're a trooper. There's so many possibilities. Thank you. Yeah. I'm like thinking, well, there goes my stability, but then I'm thinking, I don't need stability. Maybe I thrive on chaos. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. Red is definitely your color. Thank you. I'm hyper now. Hold on.
Sometimes she refers to this as her brain pill. Our investigators have no idea. Now, her live continues for over an hour, but we've summarized the best parts. The subjects include sobriety, lying to the animal. Subjects include sobriety.
But I've been feeling mentally, like I feel mentally better when I'm like completely sober from everything. So I think that's how I have to stay.
To the animal rescue establishments.
Smokey's rehomed and happy, so whatever. I messaged like a bunch of rescues for him and none of them would take him. The SPCA, you have to fill out a form, then the manager has to review it. It's not, I needed to like rehome him ASAP because I had to be out of there. So I was really worried about that. So I'm just like, maybe if I lie and say that he was found, because if I don't say that, they're going to be like, okay, well, the onus is on you to rehome him. And it's like, I don't have time. Like it's urgent, it has to be urgent. But
camping with her family, accidentally doxing
there are a lot
herself.
of seats in that car. Yeah. No, 4. It's an Outlander. It's 100 degrees. It is 23 degrees Celsius here right now. So, not bad. Whatever. I can't ruin the content. I just don't want people to know where I live. So actually they did in the villa, but it was annoying. People would call things to my house. So what I did was just put a sign, like, we didn't order anything, please don't knock.
Before she gets off the live, she reads a dono and says, yeah, my whole life is in this suitcase, and pointing to the back seat. And to me, that's almost an invitation for her to get robbed.
Yeah, my whole life is in this suitcase.
Maybe I'm just from Memphis. Now, Foodie goes pretty radio silent until Tuesday, July 1st, with a 2-hour and 20-minute live stream titled, Habibi Come to Syria? Syria? Where she reveals that she's moved to Syria to be with Salah. Yes, I did not stutter. You heard me correct. War-torn country, Syria, that has a travel advisory from basically every single country in the world. This may have been her scariest move yet. The good news is that Julia's with them, so Salah may get a few extra points.
Julia's here, she's in the window. Baby! She was so happy to see me. The minute I came in, I started petting her, she bit mom. She bit mom. King Beezer,
hello guys.
We are reunited at last. Come here, baby! And Juice as well. Hi, baby.
I want to see you.
Hi, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, sorry. I'm liking elf. Oh. Guys.
But in the same breath, you wonder, would she have been better in Kuwait? Now, Foodie goes on to explain some of her experiences traveling and living in Syria so far.
Yeah. Ugh, the layover was the worst. Even though I had a hotel, they don't have any Burger King, they don't have any fast food.
No, don't.
No. They have chips. It's like too hot to eat. I don't have much of an appetite when I'm hot, you know?
One of the funniest moments is when Salah says that Syria, quote, has some of the best healthcare in the world.
They have pharmacies everywhere, yeah. I have my medication, actually. I have medication with me for a while, so breeze it.
The best healthcare in the world in Syria, by the way.
Really?
With decent prices.
Yeah. True.
The doctors here, very smart.
Oh, nice.
With guarantees, full guarantees here.
I think you can just take a quick Google search and find out that that is very far from the truth. Google says that they're around 108. And for context, the United States is 69. And for everybody living here, you know how flawed the system is at 69. So imagine 108. I literally can't. Foodie believes that if she loses weight, that all of her health problems would go away.
I know I'm in a vulnerable position, like my health and stuff, but honestly, I feel like what I need to do is like lose weight, and all of my health problems will disappear.
Kind of suggesting that she's using Syria as a weight loss retreat, to which she promptly gets off the live. Now, I fear Chantal has gone from a place where there are too many rules, like Kuwait, to a place where there are very few. What if she's robbed? Would they be able to get her CPAP back? From what I understand, there are still 4 different groups fighting for power in this area. Now, moving on to Wednesday, July 2nd, where Foodie gave us a new video, not a live stream, a whole video, titled, "Is this Istanbul Airport Hotel Worth It?" where she showcased her over 10 years of YouTube editing experience in a 9-minute style travel vlog. Now, I say editing skills with a lot of sarcasm because it gave pretty lazy to me. She followed up her new video with a live on that same day. And this was a very boring, insightful, and kind of frightening to be a beezer. She was just driving in a highway for 11 minutes talking about mundane things, to which she was abruptly cut off, seemingly lost cell service.
Are you gonna get water? Well, I'm pretty thirsty, but I put French accent when I talk Arabic. Noon, and then, you know, but you can see the
people wondering what actually happened to her. She said the only reason that they were on the road was because the power was out and she was hot. Now, after the very sketchy live, Foodie goes pretty silent, making a lot of beezers pretty worried about her safety. Luckily for them, she did post a few times to her community tab that night, relieving all of their worries. Now, following her community tab post, she did post a few more times, just some food posts. Now, on Saturday, July 5th, she goes live at a very late hour for about 5 whole hours. And while we were not able to get the full notes on all 5 hours, we do have a synopsis from Barbecue Chillin' on YouTube.
My knees are so sore and like bruised from like a lot of people like sit on the ground here, so on like these mats, and we even have one too. It's a match, like I think it's a matchless Arabic style seating. But getting up and down, man, being fat is hard in Canada, and it's even harder in Syria. I would say 1,000,000 times harder in Syria. Different things. We have a Western toilet and a squat bathroom. I can show you that someday. But so yeah, I've had to use those bathrooms, and I can. Yes, I can. For someone my size, I'm actually able to do that. Yeah, Stella worries for me. He was definitely worried about me coming here and tried to warn me a million times, you know, and I was like, well, I don't want to leave you in this without, like, I worry about him every single day. I'd rather be here with him going through it. Like, I love him. He's my husband. And, you know, other than that one incident, it's been totally, the people are amazing. Less fluid. Hey, Miss Chad, I'm basically just eating, like, when I'm hungry. Like, you know, I don't even really think about food unless I'm hungry. Olive tree time. Oh, no. This happens sometimes, guys. The power goes out. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get like a piece of paper to fan myself. Stop laughing at me. I know you're laughing. Alhamdulillah, I'm not tired now because there's been times where I'm dead tired and I've had to wait. So, yeah, I mean, choosing this life is crazy. Well, I am crazy, so people would kill for your life in Canada. I mean, maybe I took that for granted. I told off my, I don't care, I'm gonna talk. I told off my landlord, I'm like, I don't remember. We got into like a little tiff at the end. He's really weird. He's like a weird little neurotic guy. And he was being like rude. Like I didn't do anything. I was like, despite the people harassing him, which, you know, isn't really my fault because I didn't make them do it. He was like, okay, now don't, because he gave me like, I'm like, I want my money back, you know, like I need to leave. So he was like, don't message me for anything ever again for any reason. So I'm like,
get lost.
I said, dude, I said, listen, I said, I wrote LMAO. Why would I message you for anything? Get a life, block. Like what? Because people were messaging him right when they found out, like psychos, you know. So I was like saying that I was dirty in the villa and all that. So he's like, people were telling me about Orleans, and I was like, I'm like, oh great. I'm like, right away, I'm like, I'm leaving. I want my money back. And he was like, okay, here's some tea. So he was like, I'm like, listen, that was like 3 years ago. Basically, I was like, my house got messy like once in a while, whatever. It's not your business. Like, you know, like maybe past tenancy, whatever. But like, no, like, so, you know, that was long ago. I'm like, I haven't been a bad tenant now. Like the place is clean. I paid you first and last month's rent. I'm quiet. I'm very quiet. Like, what more do you want, you know? So then he's like, you're not getting any of your money back. And I was like, oh, I'm going to pull out Miss Legal, what's it? Legal Mindset Foodie Beauty and clock it. So basically we had a verbal agreement only. It was nothing, you know, he said he was being nice and he was letting me move in like a bit of time before the 1st of July. The lease only started. I signed the lease. The lease was legally binding for July 1st. So I said, my lease doesn't start until July 1st. You cannot legally withhold my money. And I have to leave now for my safety. And trust me, the trolls are nasty and they're going to make your life hell. So you're going to want to give me back my money. And he was like, you're not getting your money. He's like, I'll give you your money back after you leave. And if you leave before the 1st, before the contract starts, and if I inspect the apartment. I said, your apartment will be in the same condition that it was. I'm not a child. I would not disrespect your property for no reason or do anything illegal. But legally, you cannot withhold a last month's rent deposit for, it's not a security deposit for damages. It's a deposit for my last month's rent and you have to give it back. And the first month as well. And actually, I was nice. I didn't have to do this. I thought it was right to give him a chunk of the first month's rent that I paid for the first because I stayed there for a while. Like, I'm not going to stay there for completely for free. So that's the tea with that guy. Anyway, he was, I don't know, he was weird right from the get. Like when I was communicating with him at first, he was using like a troll picture, like on, not his actual picture, which I guess, you know, I don't know, I can understand that. But he was just really like picky about every little thing. Like I'd never want to live in a place again where the landlord lives in the same building because they nitpick every little thing. Like he's saying the air conditioner wasn't installed properly, that there's going to be bats coming in. He was like super neurotic and like, I don't know. I'm so glad I'm out of there, man. It would rain and the whole ceiling would leak. Okay. And I message him and he's basically like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, you know, well, who am I supposed to tell about this? Like, you're the landlord. What do you want? Like, who am I supposed to tell that the ceiling looks like it's going to cave in with water because like I had to put one of my buckets under there. Like, I'm glad I'm out of there anyways. So that was a disaster, you know, and that's the chance you take. Yeah. I don't care if he's watching. What's he going to do? I'm allowed to say what I want. I didn't say his name. You know, I'm not the one doxing people. So toxic mold. It did smell like mold in there really bad. It smelled, you know what it did? It smelled like potatoes. You know when you leave a bag of potatoes out? And I couldn't pinpoint the smell. And the windows wouldn't stay open all the way. Like they would shut down. It was, I don't know. Anyway, this actually works really well. How stubborn I am. I know. Oh, alhamdulillah. Oh, we get an hour of government power. I'm not sleeping for an hour with my CPAP. There's no way. I'd rather wait till the morning and sleep right through. As soon as the sun hits the solar, you can... It's hard for you too. It's hard for Syrians in general. Oh. No, use. I came. Do you know what I went through to get here? Do you know? And she cries and runs away when I want a kiss. Betty Bosa. Betty Bosa, telling home. Closet is pretty. It didn't work? The solar, I told you. It's the sun that charges the battery, babe.
I did switch it.
Oh. Alhamdulillah. I'd be like, let's go. We're packing up. Too bad for your house. Like, I'm sorry, but there's just no way. I mean, the person who set up our solar panel has the same one, and they have electricity all day and night. So it might just be a defective battery. Yay, just our luck as usual. Something goes wrong. Anyway, I guess we'll see. But yeah, I need consistent power. So if that doesn't happen, I will not be staying very long. I don't know what I'll do, but okay, I'm gonna go check out the panel and see what's going on.
Thank you for your hard work. Now, I don't have full context on the very last clip, so I'm not sure if Foodie means she'll leave the country, Syria, because of the power situation, or just the complex that she's in right now. Answers still to be determined. Now, that's all our new Syrian travel vlogger has wrote for us this week. Now, moving on to the only other person that might be on the same level of delusion as Foodie, our freshman member of Gorl World, Wes Watson, aka Shrimp Watson. Falling deeper into denial, despair, and spiritual psychosis, Wes Watson starts off the week very quiet as he barely posts anything on any social page, and what he did post definitely wasn't noteworthy. Except he does start using Angie's child as a prop in his Instagram posts. Not only just using the child as a prop, but also endangering it. In one of his more recent Instagram stories, he showcases Angie's child in the car that he is actively driving and recording at the same time. Showing just how much forethought Wes puts into his posts and his actions in general. Gorl World investigators may have found one of Wes Watson's newest pay pigs. And we noticed his voice changes from post to post, suggesting he may be trying to appear that he has a deeper voice.
This is the high life, and I never would have got here without my big bro, Wes Watson. I was half successful in business, but I wasn't there. I wasn't fulfilled within myself, within my mind. The life you guys want is on the other side of the fear of change, the fear of failing, and the fear of what people are going to think of you that you don't even give a shit about. These people don't attain anything that you want in your life. The big thing people say these days too is my family doesn't support me, which is one of the craziest things.
Moving on to Tuesday, he had nothing of substance, but this caption really did make me chuckle. He thinks he's God's chosen person. It is so wild. Now, moving on to Wednesday, July 2nd, where, shocker, he uses Angie's child as a prop again. After a very interesting statement.
How silly everybody is. You probably don't even have the life you want right now anyways. And what we think the life we want is never what's best for us. When everything's being taken away, that's God's plan. He's removing everything that doesn't serve you so that you can get back to work. You can get back to work building you. When everything's stripped away, when the material world collapses around you, bro, the spiritual world awakens. I got everything taken from me, and I came back 1,000,000-fold. And if you think I'm talking about the stuff, you're mistaken as a motherfucker, because it's the man I came back as that's fucking so priceless. You have no fucking idea what you're going to be made into on this path if you answer God's calling and you do the fucking work that he provides for you. You're doing a good job with that soup.
No, it's not hot.
What's yours? Buffalo? Your strength?
And then he follows up the Instagram story with a post about Angie's child. And following this trend, guess what, folks? That's right. He decides to post Angie's child again. But I think we're done showing the child here at Gorl World Watch. And I really wish he was too. He goes on to post basically trying to prove that he is God's chosen person. He believes in God but doesn't believe in the church. And then he goes on to say, God's hard on you, and if you want to see a man chosen by God, there's two things that you're going to look for that are very obvious. Massively blessed, and the tests never end. Because God wants to see how far you can go. So yeah, he's implying that he is God's chosen person in this. And I can't play it because there's copyright music, unfortunately. Is it just me? I mean, is this spiritual psychosis? What is this if it's not? Child posts do cease on Friday, but we are cursed with a Wes Watson form video where he shows us his very subpar one-arm row form. This is a how-to. As you can see, this guy is very slow and controlled. He's not jerking his body up and down. He's lifting with a hook instead of just like pulling his elbow super far back. He also has, see that? He has his arm tucked. And our boy Wes is just raw pulling it without thinking about any type of form. Not only that, but he's having to wear a back brace during his workout routines because he clearly does not train abs. Like, the point of lifting should be to improve the quality of life, improve your movement and overall health. The version of fitness that Wes pushes is vanity focused, and it will sacrifice health, movement, and overall wellness in order to get bigger muscles. And he ends the week with a typical self-glaze post.
Anything? You just have to have some pussy-ass cop-out. Hey, but what the fuck do I know, right? What do I know, huh? What the fuck do I know? Happy 4th of July, motherfuckers.
And at the end of the week, he does his typical self-glaze, pay pig lifting montage that's basically just substanceless. That about wraps things up for our freshman Wes Watson. Thank you so much for joining me this week. This is Gorl World Watch with Mancy Grace. I'm your host, Mancy. I hope you have a wonderful night.
Psycho bitch. I'm glad you did this. You know why?
Amberlyn did not shower.
Because you're going to be arrested. You have one